Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that I'm done. With never actually being done! I'm not leaving! I've got a husky, and literally my house looks like a snow globe at all times, including myself. So I wanted to just kind of start with that as probably the biggest takeaway or what not to do when it comes to Pokemon YouTubing or just YouTubing in general. I think leveraging your most loyal fans to click on a thumbnail out of pity or sadness or something like that is probably not the best. And I'm not saying that clickbait doesn't happen, because everyone's kind of guilty of it in one way or another, and it's part of the business. I mean, I myself am guilty of it, but it's really a difference between stretching it or just breaking reality completely. Like using extra buzzwords and adjectives. Open your mouth so freaking wide that you can see down your throat and out your ass. But yeah, that stuff is very normal and it's very commonplace. But when you're specifically targeting your most core audience and kind of not taking advantage or making sure that they click no matter what, and really I think sticking as close to the source material within, and then having your thumbnail kind of portray that along with your title the best you can. And you should be using keywords in the title so you can get some sort of recommendation from YouTube to cast a wider net. But I think sticking as close to the source material as you can will serve your viewer group and will probably get you the most genuine results and or viewers, because really people catch on to that almost instantly. People don't like getting clickbaited. I think it's a really difficult dance a lot of times, because sometimes I think that people like to be clickbaited, but as long as the payoff is within the video, then they will allow, or they acknowledge the clickbait, but they're like, oh, that's how you got me. That's how you did it. No bait, no clicks. So one concept that I would throw in here just to end this portion is you want to live by a rule when it comes to your thumbnail and title. And I struggle with this on a video by video basis, is you want to under promise and over deliver, and not the other way around. So just keep that in mind, play it back if it doesn't make sense, but it'll mean something different to everyone. Promise it small and then deliver big time, and I promise you'll have the big payoff when it comes to retention and keeping that viewer entertained for as long as possible, as much of the way through the video as they're willing to give of their time. So I wanted to come out here, and my family has no idea actually that I'm filming. The kids don't anyway, my wife does. But the next idea that I wanted to tackle is actually being genuine. And this might actually be the most difficult thing to execute when having a YouTube channel. It's hard to have the online persona as well as kind of like your personal persona, and then being able to mix the two. And it could just be a fact of the matter that all original thought has been taken up in the entire world, and we're just adaptations of our upbringings and then portraying them as an outward manifestation, whether it's in our personal life or on camera. But I think there's a clear distinction here. It's okay to be influenced by outside forces, but when you're within your own four walls or on camera, we'll say, I think being your most genuine self, or whatever that means to you, will probably pay you off the biggest in the long run, because you'll attract people that are naturally like you or think the way that you do, and you guys will find some commonality even though you'll never meet, and your only relationship is between two pieces of technology and through a camera. Another thing is what's going on in the background. Sometimes it's hard to separate your online life with your personal life, and I try to finesse that as much as I can. I want to let the kids be as kids for as long as I can, and the last thing I want to do is exploit them. But I also do want to bring you guys into my personal life, even if it's a more tapered version, and I'm kind of controlling it in that sense. But I think a lot of people that watch you also want to see what's going on in your personal life and your interests and the things that you like to do outside of the Pokemon room. And that's something that's really important to me. Family time for me is key. It's number one. There is no substitute. And for those of you at home that have the same opportunity to share your life with other little ones, your kids, whoever it may be, I would always put that at the forefront of your mental table, because there's just nothing better. Lastly, on being genuine is I want to talk about another concept that kind of stuck with me throughout life. And I took a lot of writing classes when I was in college, and I had a really cool professor that taught me a lot when it came to communicating with your target audience. And one thing that he said that didn't hit me until years later, I mean years later, is he said, never assume that the readers are idiots. And I was like, that's kind of a weird thing to say. Why would I, I just didn't think too much about it. But what he's saying is talk to them as if you were talking to your friends or family, and don't assume that you need to break down every little detail of what you're trying to do. And that's something that we can bring over to YouTube, is we sometimes try to dissect things and try to bring the viewers in on something or a concept when they're sitting at home being like, all right, I know exactly what he's talking about. Why is he going on and on about the same thing?
I'm not an idiot.
Just talk to them as if you were talking to one of your friends who know exactly the same funny things you know, and just assume and know that if they don't get something and they want to know more about it, technology is at their fingertips and they can just look it up if they need to know what it's about. So the last concept that I want to talk about, guys, is just never selling out. Don't sell yourself out, and for the love of God, never sell out your community. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that, and that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But specifically, just in Pokemon, it just takes that one time, right? And you've lost all trust in your community. So I get that the whole exercise of YouTube for a lot of people is to make money and use it as a financial vehicle. And there's ways that you can do that where your viewers feel good about it, and the people that are buying into whatever it is that you're selling, whether it's a membership, whether it's a super chat, whether it's a Patreon, whether it's a product or merchandise or whatever. There's ways that you can do it where people feel really good about it. And then there's ways that you can do it where it can be extremely, extremely destructive to your persona, to your personality, and to your channel overall. So one example that I can give that's not Pokemon related is like Logan Paul. So whether you guys know or not, go check out CoffeeZilla. If you don't, he covered the whole thing. Logan Paul created a cryptocurrency called CryptoZoo, and really, all in all, it was a pump and dump situation where all he did was pump it up to his core viewers. Then the whole project went to zero. People lost millions and millions of dollars. There were some people that invested their entire life savings because they believed in it so much, and the things that Logan was saying were making people think that, oh, this is the next big thing. It had something to do with eggs, and it was almost like a game or some nonsense. That's probably why it came up in my feed, is because I'm looking at Pokemon crap all day. So the egg thing came up. I have no idea. I'll let CryptoZoo take it from here, but that's a perfect example of someone who has a lot of clout, has a core demographic, and leveraging and taking advantage of that demographic financially, and it was a mess. He even came back and said that he was gonna reimburse people and whatever. It never happened. I have no idea. That's not my orbit, but I'm just saying that that was a terrible, terrible situation.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
So something that's more Pokemon related is, let's say that you sell a product, right? A mystery box, okay? We're very familiar with those. Or even the mystery packs. If you're not very, very transparent with the odds of hitting stuff and it's not true, that's a problem, and not even the ones that have the packs in them specifically, but I see a lot of them that where people are selling cards loose, and then I see some people that are opening their own product on their own channels and saying how great it is. And every example that I've seen on YouTube of that product, the product is literal trash. They're getting half value, if not worse. That's absolutely criminal. Same thing with a mystery box. I don't have to say it because you guys already know. There was mystery boxes that I saw that were being sold at retail for $250, and I saw some that were yielding $30 to $40 in value. That's absolute insanity. And it just takes a couple rounds of that to absolutely destroy your reputation. And the ripple effects could be nuclear for your channel. So one concept just to drive home on this one is Sales 101. A happy customer, and it doesn't matter whether it's a restaurant, a product, or a service that you offer, a happy customer will tell on average 10 people about their experience. An unhappy customer will tell on average 100 people about their bad experience. So keep that in mind whether you're selling, again, a service, a product. I mean, it could be anything. The big thing you need to think about is the value that you're bringing to the table for dollars paid. And if those usually match up, or at least the person that's buying knows exactly what they're getting into, that's where it makes it a situation where no one can be mad at anyone, because the person buying in knew exactly what they were getting into and there was no smoke and mirrors whatsoever. So just something to take into consideration, and I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, I know we kind of went on a journey there, and I hope everything that I said made sense and it was on some level coherent. I tried to have a plan, but then you just get word vomit and things just start coming out. So I hope it all made sense. Sound off in the comments whether you agree, disagree, or in between or whatever, and I'm here to help. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next live or the next episode. Peace out. Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's time to hit the button already. Do it now. What do you think, I'm dancing for free here?